It's time for Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore. A Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you.
Brought to you by Joe Lunghammer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Plan your next vehicle purchase or get your credit rolling in the right direction with Regina today. And now, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore.
Good morning. You're listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and I'm your girl, Regina Eileen Woodard, a.k.a. the Queen of Car Loans.
Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. T. Happy Saturday.
Good morning, Dr. T. So in our absence today, well, he's not here. Mr. Trust the Process, Gil Garrett, is on his honeymoon.
Yay, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Garrett. Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself, Mr. Trust the Process. He'll be back, is it next week? He'll be back next Saturday morning? Next Saturday morning. Yeah. Well, Dr. T, it's been a lot going on in the world. And I have two words for you, but it's really one word, but it's two words. Mm-hmm. Mental health.
Oh, you're on my street today, huh? Okay.
I'm on your street?
You're on my street today.
I'm on your street. Well, you know what? I'm on your street every day, honestly. And I'm not just being physically on your street, driving down your street, just on your street, because I have that mental health day every day.
You do?
I do. Yes, I do. And you get most of it probably about 4 days a week when I call. Right?
Seven.
And okay, 7. You let me slide on Mother's Day. Yeah. And I say that I have that mental health day every day is because I have to check myself every day. Mm. And I have to do that because I'm always going through in my mind how I'm going to get to the next level, what I got to do, am I going to fail in this, or is this not going to go right like how I want it to go? And it's just, I have to have that mental check. Mm. And when I have that mental check, I either got to I make a phone call to you. I might call, Jerry Nicole Anderson. I give her whole name. Or I call one of my close friends. I call my best friend, Shalisa Lyles. I call people that are confidants to me. Confidants, right? Am I saying that word right?
Yeah, confidant.
Yeah, so I do that because I got to stay sane. But let's get into it. That's your field. Let's talk.
Well, mental health, first of all, it is not, people say being in your right mind means something, and it absolutely does. So mental health, I'm so excited that the world is recognizing the need for us to normalize it. And I say that because in the past we would hide and nobody really wanted to talk about going to a therapist. It was always what goes on in our house stays in our house. Everybody was hush hush. But what we learned during the COVID-19 crisis is that people were in need of mental health assessments. That means they needed to assess themselves, go sit down on somebody's couch, have a conversation. And even today, I always encourage people to get you some accountability partners. So those people who you just named off are your accountability partners.
Absolutely.
They're the ones that can check you where you stand. Those are the ones who can say, you know what, you kind of off today, Regina. Let's kind of talk about this. And so we all need accountability partners. So I am loving the fact that we are normalizing going to a therapist now. So it's not so hush hush anymore. You have people who churches are recognizing the need to have a counselor on staff. Schools are recognizing the need to have students see counselors often. And I feel like this, just like kids go out to recess, it should be a standard time where they get to pull from their mental health toolbox, means sit down and have a conversation with them. And also, families are recognizing this. So, yeah, shout out to the therapists all over.
Well, that's one reason why you decided that once a month we have that mental health show. Yeah, right? Yeah. And you call that, what do you call that?
The mental health points to ponder. So, yeah.
But how did you come up with the slogan or the name of Points to Ponder?
So when I was an instructor at Baker College, my students would come in, and I had a Tide box, and it was an old school Tide box. For those of you who remember this Tide box, it was
Wait a minute,
plastic.
TIDE?
Yeah, the Tide
Tide
box.
washing powder?
Yeah, it was the
Washing
actual,
liquid.
but it was the powder box. So it was a little red and white and yellow Tide container, and I would let them put things that were getting on their nerves in it, and I called it my soap box, right? And so I said, you got 5 minutes to talk about it. Give me 5 minutes. You can ponder on it for 5 minutes, but after that, we're going to wash it out, right? So that's why the Tide box. And so that's where it came where I came up with it. So we can sit here and talk about what may be plaguing or what's getting on our nerves, but then we're going to talk about a solution. So there's a problem there, but it's also a solution.
So I like the fact that you say it's always a solution because, it seems like last week was a time of, like, people had to take a mental health day or hour or half a day, was because a prominent young lady in Pontiac got murdered. And it was all over the news. And, I remember when I first heard on the news, it was about 7, 8, it was about 6:45 in the morning. And I had just turned my TV on, and it was just like I went from 2 to 4 to 7, back to 2 and 4, 7. It seemed like they were hitting it all at the same time. And it just seems like when something happens in our hometown, whether we know that person or not, it hits home. Yeah. It's like I didn't know her personally, but it's like I just felt that love. I mean, I felt that hurt. I felt love for her family, and I started just praying. And the reason I started praying is because when you have a town like Pontiac, the Yak, when somebody is murdered, it's like your heart goes out to the family. Your heart goes out to the husband's family. The heart goes out to her family. But what was I can't remember, what was her name?
So we express our condolences to the family of Calandra Green. I did know Calandra. I met Calandra when I was probably in about the 10th grade. So we extend our condolences to the family. Such a tragic event. So I'm sorry that happened, but all we can do is rely on God in this hour, because there's no answer to that. How do you bounce back from that? Only through prayer and believing that God is still able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all we can ask or think.
When I think I read in the paper, heard on the news that they gave, because she was at Oakland County and Southfield, correct?
Yeah, she was over the Oakland County. She held a position over Oakland County. So, man.
And so what they did was they gave the workers that day off. That day off.
Yeah,
and that's not normal for jobs, right? Yeah. There's not. They, now they're beginning to send counselors, to send people, therapists on ground, right, or at the job, but to give them the whole day off to be able to grieve.
Yeah, and shout out to Oakland County for doing that. And also, they did have grief counselors on hand for them as well. So I certainly can appreciate recognizing the need and then responding to the need. So that's what we do. As a therapist, that's what I do every day. I recognize the need, and I help my clients come up with tools to be able to function throughout the day. So that's what Oakland County provided to their employees. So shout out to Oakland County.
So what is that 1-800 number of crisis? If anyone is in a crisis or they need to reach out to someone and they don't have someone actually to talk to.
So it used to be, just like it used to be 911, so they have a 411 that you can call now. You can just dial 411, and that's the crisis line. And so if anyone's listening now, if you are in a crisis, you need to speak to a counselor. Also, Psychology Today, you can go to www.psychologytoday. You can put your zip code in, and therapists in your area will populate, and you'll have the opportunity to look at them, to also see reviews and see who's in your city close to you where you can get help. So also, if you're in an abusive relationship, you can also seek out some help there as well.
Well, you know what? I'm excited about our guests with an S on it that are coming up next. Mr. James Gonzales. Mr. James Gonzales I'm probably always going to get this wrong. I used to call it, 360? 360. But he's going to correct me when he gets on. But I am a huge fan of this young man because he helped the Queen get her body right. So when you got to work with the Queen or you put up with my nonsense sometimes, you know. So shout out to Dr. T and shout out to James Gonzales who puts up with the Queen's nonsense. And I say nonsense because, you know, sometimes you think you know everything in your field, right? But this is called staying in your lane. When it comes to cars, when it comes to credit, you know, and building your credit, I can help you with that. But when it comes to fitness with your body, I have to stay in my own lane. I thought I knew it all. Right? But not until I got with Mr. James Gonzales. But Dr. T always tells me very often to stay in my lane, you know. Then
she just told me today, y'all.
Then we got over here in the studio who do we have in the studio?
Quan Dillahunty. Come on here.
Come on now. No, when we come back, he gonna come and talk to us, right?
They got the whole show. They got the whole show.
So they didn't know that.
I hope y'all get y'all pen and paper out. They gonna give y'all some information about some upcoming things you don't want to miss. So we excited about that.
But I'm excited because we're gonna talk about backgrounds. Yeah. We're gonna talk about what they were doing before they got where they are right now. Yeah. What their dreams are, where they want to be 2 or 3 years from now, and we're gonna just talk about accomplishments. We're gonna talk about how they got where they are right now. Because you just don't wake up and become that person who you are. Yeah. All right, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dave Wilkie, Service Manager at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Since the 1950s, Joe Longhammer and his family have been honored to service your vehicles. With 112 years of combined service experience, we can take care of any concern you might have. From warranty work to routine oil changes, we treat your vehicle like our own. Call now to schedule the next service appointment at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Stop by anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your vehicle serviced right every time. Call 248-683-7100. That's 248-683-7100.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Are you paying high interest rates on a car loan? Do you desire to purchase a home, but you're unable to get approved? Perhaps you're repeatedly getting denied for credit when applying for credit cards. Listen, better credit doesn't just happen. You've got to make it happen. I've helped hundreds of people better their credit and their overall financial situation by applying a simple set of instructions that anyone can follow. Call me today, 1-800-988-9184. That's Kathy Washington, your financial impact coach, at 1-800-988-9184. Don't delay. Call today.
Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed and driving today. Simply Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
You are still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. And today, this Saturday morning, we're going to be talking to Quan. Can you help me get his last name right?
Quan Dillahunty.
Dillahunty?
Dillahunty.
You know, Quan, I remember meeting
rich
Quan.
Name, Regina.
Right. James said, like a billionaire. He has that billionaire name. Yeah. So Quan I remember Quan when he was with Max Main, Max Fitness, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember he was like the fitness guru, taking care of his body. He still looked good, don't get me wrong, but my first love for him was his body. I'm just gonna be honest with you, right? Because I'm the big sister, so I can kind of talk. So if is he married? He's married. His girlfriend, don't hate. I'm the big sister. I'm gonna talk about all their bodies, right? Because they take care of their bodies, they invest in their bodies. But I just remember when you first came on the scene with Max. So shout out to Max Main and shout out to Quan this morning. Good morning, Quan.
Good morning. Shout out to Max Main.
So let me just give a little back history on Quan. Quan now is a videographer, a photographer. Now let me just tell you what a videographer is. Videographer, for you guys that don't know, is someone that has a camera, has a phone, that can do a video of you, right? photographer takes your picture. And the reason I'm talking like this because sometimes I have to remind myself which one it is because I assume that every person can do both of them, the videographer and the photographer, and that's not true. Is that right?
That's correct. It's two different fields. Some people don't take pictures, and some people only take pictures.
Ooh.
So it's really about what you want to do because some cameras only do one. Like you got some cameras that's just cinema cameras. They don't take pictures. Then you got some cameras that's they don't have good quality as far as video. So it really depends on what you want to do. So you get the equipment for what you want to do.
So thank you for that explanation or that definition. But Quan is an independent filmmaker. He specializes in high reel video. He does pictures at all events, weddings, baby showers, birthday parties, any event you can think of, that's what he does. But he is going to have his debut of his film, Oh No.
Or no.
Or no.
Or no.
Or no. Or no.
Or no.
Or no. You know, I'm always messing something up. Help me out here. But the reason he's on the show today is because of his film that he has coming up, Or Now. Or no?
Or no.
Come on, y'all help me out.
Or no.
Or no.
Yeah.
So you got the floor. How did you actually get started? Let's just talk about fitness. How did you get involved just taking care of your body and wanting to look good every day?
Well, a little background on me. I was in prison, and when I came home, my friend before I went was Max Main. We was friends before, so when I came home, he told me, "Man, you ain't got to worry about a job. You can, do fitness with me." So I came home and I did fitness with him. But the fitness, it came natural to me because I played sports my whole life. So just taking care of my body it came easy, but that's not really what I wanted to do. So it was just a means to an end. So I had to get to what I really wanted to do, was what I'm doing currently. So it took me about 6 years to get to where I wanted to be, and making films is where I wanted to be. So it took me a nice little journey, but I got here. I'm here, So it started off with fitness, and it just, I had to network, meet some people. I didn't know nobody. I didn't have the equipment. I didn't have the resources, finances. I didn't have nothing. I just knew what I wanted to do. So it just took me some time to get here.
So I want to just back you up a little bit here because I know in between the breaks I talked about I want people to get to know you, where you came from, where you're going. So I want to just back up a little bit. So you and Max Main became friends, partners when you were in prison, right?
No, before
you went to prison.
Before we was, in the streets together.
Okay.
So, and then we both went to prison, and then he got out before me, and he started doing fitness. And I did a long time. So doing a lot of time, you kind of want to do a lot of different things.
When you said you did a lot of time, how much time did you do?
I did 135 months.
Okay.
That's 11 years, 3 months in a day.
I was going to say English to me because I'm like, what is that?
No, I did 11 years.
11 years.
3 months in a day. Don't forget the day. It's okay. So we was friends before.
Okay.
Then we both went and got locked up, and then we came home. He was like, "Man, you can." So my goal was, when I came home, was to do film, right? Because when I decided what I really wanted to do, I had my mama send me a bunch of books. So she sent me like 4 or 5 books on how to write screenplays. So I read these books, and I wrote. It was just an inside joke between me, my bunkie, cellmate, and it was another friend of ours. It was just a little joke amongst us to see if I could really do it. And that joke turned out to be this movie we're doing now. So I wrote this like 8 years ago while I was locked up as a short joke amongst us. It was only like 30 minutes. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. So
go ahead, because I'm gonna take you back.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring it full circle. So in about January this year, not my bunkie, but the other guy, Sean. He called me. He was still locked up. He said, man, I told him, I was like, man, I'm about to do this short. I finally networked. I got the right people around me, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this short. And he asked me, he said, man, what about that one?
What's a short? Is a short short film?
Short film, yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, man, I'm about to do this short film. He said, man, what happened to that one you had wrote about us? So I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me go check. I went to the basement, found all my stuff that I brought home from prison, and I found it. It was only like 30 pages. So in film, every page is like a minute on screen. So it's only like 30 minutes. So I took it, I added like 45 pages to it, and I got my bunkie that I wrote it about. I got him to play himself because I wrote it. It wasn't about us, but it was a fictional story kind of using our characteristics. So I got him to play himself, and that's how it all started. That's how this Ordinary came to life.
So I want to back you up a little bit because I want to talk about how many books did you read while you were in prison?
Total books?
Yeah, did you read a book a week, two a month?
So the thing is, I didn't read like novels and stuff like that. I only read like self-help books, books that was educational. So I really can't pinpoint an exact number, but it was, I think, over 11 years. I read a lot of them. But
okay.
It was just all to try to help me become, a better version of me, so to speak. So, but when it come to the film, I think my mama sent me like 5 books, maybe. It's like 4 or 5 books. I still got these books. I've been looking to give them to somebody because I want to just pass the information on. So if anybody, want to learn how to write screenplays, because writing a screenplay is different from writing a novel. You don't start off with, once upon a time. It's not like that. It's a format that you got to be written in. So if anybody want to learn how to write, a screenplay, I'm want to give these books away. So that's how I read these books, and this is how I started my journey.
Wow, you know what? I'm listening to you talk to us today, and I'm thinking back to, you did 11 years plus some change. And
don't forget the change.
Don't forget the change now.
in prison. And so while there, none of us know the path that we're going to be on. But what I've learned is that our beginning does not dictate our ending.
Amen.
So I'm looking at you now. You were in prison for 11 years, and while you were there, you began to study and learn how to become a filmmaker. I mean, you learned that, to write things. And so now you're taking that passion and want to share it with someone else. And that's what life is about. Your journey is really not so much about you. It's about what and how you can help someone else, what you can do with what you went through and how you can help someone else. So I just want to, salute you today that you didn't let that, time break you, but you used it to help elevate you. Wow.
I appreciate that.
So what was your driving force? So now, since we're talking about, how you got to where you were at, what was your driving force to get you here?
My driving force was mainly I wanted to do something productive with my life, and I didn't want to go back to the streets and the things I was doing. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. So it took me a long time, man. I went through a lot of different stages where I want to do this, and then finally I had about 3 years left maybe, and I'm 3-4 years left, and I was in this college program. This is how I met my bunkie, who played in the movie, Alvaro Wright. Shout out to Al. He helped me along this journey. So I was in this college program, and Bill Gates and Melinda Gates and the Kellogg family. So they put together this college program, and I was selected. So while in this program,
wait a minute, hold on. You kind of slid over that a little bit. Mm-hmm. You said Bill Gates?
Bill and Melinda Gates.
Bill and Melinda Gates, the billionaire.
And
did you notice that you just slid over what you said, what you're saying right now? And I'm interrupting you because when you say something of that definition or just that's huge, you got to come back and we got to give it back to you. Like Dr. T said, we got to salute you because you need to just say that one more time so it can resonate in everybody that's listening to the show right now.
Right. Okay. I mean, I can break it down a little further if you want.
Break it down a little further.
Okay. So Bill Gates and Melinda Gates and the Kellogg family. Y'all know the cereal people.
Yes,
from,
yes.
I think they're in like Battle Creek, Kalamazoo area.
Yes.
So they put together this college program for the United States. So they picked, I think, 3 states to have the college program. And then so Michigan was one of the states, and then they picked 2 counties out of Michigan, and one county was Oakland County, and the other county was like Kalamazoo County. I forgot what county that is. So what they did was they had this criteria you had to meet. It was like 8 things you had to be. You had to meet these qualifications. So I met the qualifications. I submitted an application. Boom, they accepted me. They moved me to Macomb Correctional Facility, and then this is where they all had us housed in one unit. And this is how the college program started. So Jackson College, so Jackson was the other county. It was Jackson. So Jackson was the other county. So they they divided you. So if you caught your case in Oakland County, they brought everybody here. So the college professors came into the prison, and we earned college credits. It was like a college program. So I did that for I think it was like 2 years. And once I was done, it was time for me to come home. But I couldn't continue because I didn't register for selective services when I was 18, which is registered for the Army. So they didn't let me get any federal money, any Pell Grant money. So I couldn't continue my education when I came home, and this is where fitness kicked in. Because my whole goal was to continue my education when I came home, but it didn't plan out that way because I couldn't get the federal money and I didn't have no money. So I got with Max Main again, and we started doing fitness. So this is how it all came around. But to answer the question, my driving force was I wanted to do something better with my life. I just want to do something better. So I wanted to figure out. I had to ask myself, what do I love to do? So it took me some time. I watched a lot of movies, a lot of shows, and I like the concepts of putting together things. As far as there's a lot of moving pieces. Like putting together this person for this person do this. I just like.
So did you handpick? So the people that's in your show in your movie right now, did you handpick them?
Yes.
Or so you handpicked them?
Yeah. So
I
picked. So it started with Al, my bunkie. He on the flyer. He the one on the left. He was my bunkie. I asked him to play himself, and then I needed somebody to play. Sean, which is our homie that just came home. He home now, though. He the one who called me back in January. He home now. So I had wrote a spot for him. He got a cameo in there, too. So I needed somebody to play him because he's a comedian. He's like a real-life comedian. He used to put on shows, and he's a real comedian. So I needed somebody to find him. So that's where it was kind of hard because I needed somebody with this charismatic, this funny, that could, because it's a comedy. So I needed somebody to kind of bring that, because Al is not, he's not the comedy guy. And the guy is Trey, this is the star of the movie. He's funny, but it's not like comedic funny. It's just like he's silly. So I had to find, so where it come to find him is, my partner that I produced the movie with is Pure Exposure. So I was talking to her about it, and she referred me to. So I'm the director. I'm the cinematographer on her film. So she was like, "Man, it's a little girl that's in her film. Her dad, he a silly guy. He fit what you looking for." So I reached out to him, and once he said, "Yeah," it was easy to fill in all other pieces. So I just really needed somebody to play him. And that was kind of like the main thing I kind of needed.
Wow. I heard you mention you did some self-inventory of yourself. So that's key. So for those that are listening, even though you may have had to go through some situations that may not have been pleasant, you did self-inventory to help you to say, hey, you know what, this is what I need to work on. And you began to work on those things and to get you where you are now. So I appreciate that. And I also hear collaboration. You're collaborating with a lot of people, and a lot of people who are in businesses, entrepreneurs, they really don't understand the value of collaborating. So I'm in awe as I hear you shouting people's name out and saying, you know what, that this is my monkey or this is this person here or there. You're giving people shout outs now. You're not trying to take all the glory for yourself.
No, this was a complete team effort. So the manager, I don't know no professional actors. I don't have no money to pay nobody. So I called on favors from my friends.
Well, you gotta watch your even when you putting stuff out in the atmosphere,
this was
at the moment.
and then you know what?
When I started.
You saying you didn't have no money, but you know you're giving people exposure.
Yes.
You're giving them, and social media and films are huge.
Yes.
So let's not don't underestimate what you're, because money.
This was my thought as when I was putting it together.
I get it, but you know, because how I found out about no. I'm gonna get it right one day. Was I'm friends with James Gonzales on Facebook, and I saw it when he posted it, and I'm like, oh, Dr. T, we got to get him. And then Dr. T reached out. We reached out to Gil, and then it went from there. You know, so you putting everything in a whole different light. And the reason I'm saying this is because, you know, where you were when you were in the streets, you did your time. You came out and you're doing something. You're making a difference. Yeah. And the reason I wanted to go all into your story more of instead of the film, because the film is coming out, right? But it's because people need to know where you came from. People need to know that you didn't just wake up and do this. Yeah. When you do hard time like that, you know, people need to just do backflips right now, because there's too many people that don't come out and get to pursue their dreams.
That's true.
And I'm starting because I'm excited, because I remember when you came out. I do. I remember. I didn't know that much about you. I paid attention to you, and I knew you were with Max. I said, well, he got to be a cool guy because he's with Max, right? Then I watched you over the years. And I'm the person that I'll be looking on your page, and you don't even know I'm looking on your page. And I may not like everything, but I'm following because I'm paying attention. I'm looking to see, are you that person? You know, are you that person and where you're going? And when I say, are you that person, it's like where you came from and where you are now. And I'm like that big sister that was lurking in the back saying, yes, I see you. I'm proud of you. But I got to take a quick break because we're going to be cut off by the station because we're at 30 minutes. Yeah. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed and driving today. Simply Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Ride in style with the Queen. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or another country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda D. Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate is your locally known home purchase expert. Buying or selling your home is a complex process. Let Brenda simplify it every step of the way. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Call 248-909-9711 and get moving on your new home purchase or sale today. That's 248-909-9711. Call now.
You are still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. And when we went on break, we were talking to Quan Dillahunty. So Quan, before we went on break, you were reminding the listeners, or even telling us, that it's never too late to start your passion. So let's just pick up right there. So how did you come up with that statement?
So I had to think about, my age, and far as usually people kind of find a passion early on, and they can get, into it, early 20s, late teens, however. I'm 37, getting into what I want to do with myself. So it's never too late. You can be 57, 67, whatever it is, just what I feel. I think a lot of people lack passion, something that they will sacrifice for, something that they could do and wait on the financial gratification. So people need money now. They got bills, so they stuck with jobs they got to do just to do it. They don't like it. They don't have a passion for it. I think I try to explain to people, try to figure out something that you could do on a side just for as a hobby, that you can turn that and just see where that go, and you can potentially turn that into something, monetarily you can, make a living off something that you're passionate about. But you got to find your passion to, that's my encourage people to find something you're passionate about. That's my encouragement for everybody. Find something you're passionate about.
So find something you're passionate about, but let me just say this. So if you're listening to the show right now, you have a chance. If you miss a show this Saturday morning, you can go to beinthedriverseat.com and listen to our past shows and listen to our show that's happening every Saturday, but it's usually uploaded on Tuesday or Wednesday of that coming week, the following week. But let me just ask, this is a kid question, or for the youngins out there, right? If you had to tell someone that's 8 or 9 years old that had the vision that you have right now, what would you tell them? Did that make sense? Or am I just, because sometimes I'll ask a question and then I don't know the answer, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense?
You said, so tell a kid.
The person is 8 years old, right? Old. And you're 30, you said 37, right? 37. What would you tell them not to do? What is one thing you would tell them to do and one thing not to do?
Not to do, I would tell them not to just rely on something that's entertainment, as far as this rapping, not to don't just fall for just being an entertainer. I believe in our community, we look at ball players and rappers and feel like that's the only way to be successful, so don't rely on just entertainment.
Okay, so what's not to do?
That's what I say, what not to do.
Well, I'm sorry, what's not to do and what should they do? Okay, right. So what should they do?
What should they do is learn as much as they can. So I feel like the more you expose to different things, the more avenues you have, the more opportunities you so it's networking. To an 8-year-old is learn as much as you can. And along the journey, you never know what you might end up liking. You never know what you might end up having a passion for, because we are too closed-minded about what we feel like success is.
So when is your film targeted to come out?
My tentative date is June 17th.
June 17th.
But it should be out next month in June.
And where could they find it?
On all streaming platforms, Tubi, Amazon Prime, just to name a couple. But we're going to have a premiere at the Bel Air Theater on 8 Mile and Van Dyke.
And when is that date already set?
No, that's my tentative 27th.
So how do they reach out to you on social media? How do they reach you?
You can reach me on Instagram.
And that is?
At QD Visions, or
spell that.
QD, like quality dairy, and Visions, VISIONS. Right, I spelled that right? Yeah, QD Visions.
All right, thank you for joining us. We're going to come right back with James Gonzales, Mr. WORK365, the Queen. I always mess that up. We're going to be right back with him, and we're also going to be right back with Quan, because James is in the film, but we got to talk to James for a little while, because this is my little brother who I love dearly. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dave Wilkie, service manager at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Since the 1950s, Joe Longhammer and his family have been honored to service your vehicles. With 112 years of combined service experience, we can take care of any concern you might have. From warranty work to routine oil changes, we treat your vehicle like our own. Call now to schedule a next service appointment at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Stop by anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your vehicle serviced right every time. Call 248-683-7100. That's 248-683-7100.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Are you paying high interest rates on a car loan? Do you desire to purchase a home, but you're unable to get approved? Perhaps you're repeatedly getting denied for credit when applying for credit cards. Listen, better credit doesn't just happen. You've got to make it happen. I've helped hundreds of people better their credit and their overall financial situation by applying a simple set of instructions that anyone can follow. Call me today, 1-800-988-9184. That's Kathy Washington, your financial impact coach at 1-800-988-9184. Don't delay. Call today.
So we're back, and we're just gonna get all into this man's business right here. Mr. James Gonzales. Ms. James Gonzales has been part of my family for over 15 years, probably 20. He is the owner of. Who are you the owner of?
WORK365 LLC.
Dr. T?
Yes.
Are you his assistant today?
You know what? I'm all of y'all assistant today.
Doc T is on it, though. I ain't gonna lie. Doc T is on it.
So let's talk to you. How did you actually get started in fitness?
Well, I always been into fitness ever since I've been playing sports all my life. I played Little League sports all my life, 3 sports, football, basketball, and track. Did the same thing in high school when I went to Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and at college at Central Michigan University. I did track and football. So I've always been into sports, always been into working out, staying in shape, and living a healthy lifestyle.
So I was reading on, you said, I don't have no bio. Wasn't that you that said, I don't have no bio? But, I focus on healthy living, your lifestyle. What is that like to live a healthy lifestyle?
Well, first off, I believe your body is your temple, and what you put in your temple is what you get out of it. So I'm a firm believer of working out, exercising, eating healthy, things of that nature. And not just that, though, it's the spiritual aspect of it as well, and the mental aspect of it.
Okay. Dr. T?
So, you said the spiritual aspect and the mental. So, first of all, you said your body is a temple. That's biblical, right?
Yes.
And so that means that this is your holy place. This is a place that you, just like we on the outside, we can dress ourselves up on the outside, but on the inside, there's some things that have to happen. So share with me, how does the spiritual aspect work alongside with the physical aspect?
That's a great question. First and foremost, your body is sacred. And a lot of people don't realize that from that standpoint or aspect, it's to me, it's staying above ground or staying afloat is to spiritually ask for guidance from God. And a lot of people don't, and I know that's a touchy topic for a lot of people. But
what's a touchy topic?
Talking about God.
No, you're on the Detroit
there we go.
station.
There we go.
You in the church.
You're in the church, right?
We're in the church. But I believe that we're made in the image of God. We're made in the image of Him. And yes, as human beings, we will make mistakes. We will encounter difficulties or run into roadblocks. But it's how you deal with it and how you overcome it. And the only way to figure out how to do that is with God's grace and His help. So that's what I mean by that.
That's good. That's good. One of the things that Quan said is it's never too late to start. And he said he was talking about passion, but I'm talking about start as in even working out. So as a fitness instructor, a professional, when you have someone that may have some health challenges, who may be suffering in their body, but they want to lose weight, they want to get more physically healthy, how do you help them reach their goal?
You know what? I'm not going to lie. When I encounter a client, which I don't really call clients, I call everybody that work out with me team members, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a community, it's team effort, and what we talked about before is that motivation from everybody, that accountability from everybody. So I don't just rely on myself doing it. It's a team that does it. And in the midst of that team, first thing I tell that person is, look, we're going to take baby steps, and it's going to start by just moving. Let's just move. I don't care if we just walking up the street for 5 minutes. I don't care if we sitting down and just working our arms up and down. We're just moving. And that's where it starts. And then that's going to become something more extreme in the near future. So, yeah, just start by moving.
So what I love about what you just said is, I'm going to put it in my own terms, you meet a person right where they are. Yeah. So wherever you are in your fitness game, you meet them where they are. Yeah. It doesn't matter. And I know, you had to meet me where I was. where I was, because I was on page. I mean, I can't even tell you where I was. You know, I don't even know where I was in my fitness game.
You was good.
And you know, because you know, when you think about your fitness, it's like your mental got to be together too.
Oh man.
You know, your mental game got to be together, your physical game. Because if you ain't thinking mentally, you're not gonna be able to get into your fitness.
Well, and that's so true. But I look at it too as you got to think of it as a lifestyle. Just like you gotta just like you gotta shower in the morning or at night, and brush your teeth and use the restroom and eat, feed yourself. You have to think of fitness as that. Like, I have to work out, I have to walk, I have to go jog, and I have to go run. But you just gotta, you know, gradually, you know, increase that. Now this is where I get frustrated, is when someone do start their fitness regimen or routine and they stay in the same place, right, over time. You got to know when to challenge yourself, right? Because God wouldn't give you or provide anything for you that you can't handle, right? Once you go overcome and pass that one aspect, go to the next level, then go to the next level, then go to the next level. That's how you gradually start to see changes.
I like that. So that's even growth. You
Yeah.
have, you know, you don't stay in the same position. If you do, then you're not growing. You're not being stretched. So, you know, as an instructor, no two people are the same. So one person may be able to run and may be able to do, you know, physically more. So I like the fact that you said that you meet the person right where they are, right?
Yeah.
So how do you help change mindsets about, you know, how you help your clients change their mindset about working out? Because some people, when you say the word workout, they don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah, and that's so true though. That's so true. So
Yes.
it's several ways to do that, but one of my favorite ways to do it is just get, again, like we talked about before, get them started with working out, right? And then, because sometimes, I'm going to say 90% of the people, they go reach a plateau to when you're doing the same workout, they don't see change. And when you don't see change, you don't get motivated.
I think that's
right?
what anybody. I think that's what anybody. Because you don't see change.
Yeah, you don't get motivated. So, which means your body reach a plateau to where your body just got used to that, and you don't see the change. That's why I'm a firm believer in mixing your workouts up. Sometimes you got to do functional body movement workouts. Then you got to do weight training. Then you got to do CrossFit. Then you got to do high intense interval training. So it's different ways to provide motivation into the fitness lifestyle, but you have to switch it up.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So talk to us about eating. So how do you get a person to, if they're used to eating high carbs or they're used to eating things that doesn't promote weight loss, how do you get them? Do you provide like a nutritional list? What do you have?
Yeah, so one thing I do is provide a meal plan to help. It's a generic meal plan because everybody's different, but I provide a meal plan to help people lose weight and also provide a meal plan to help people gain muscle. But when I get a client that's starting off, what I do is say, you know what, let's just focus on showing up, right? Show up, everything else will fall in place. Now, when it comes down to their meals, I say, keep doing what you're doing, eat what you're doing, but we go gradually eliminate some of those, you know, sodium-filled foods or high cholesterol, high calorie foods out your diet. We're not going to do it right away, but we go gradually eliminate those.
Right. That's good. That's good. Wow. Thank you for that information. I know we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
But when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit to finish up with James, but then also we're going to talk about the collaboration with the film, because James, were you an extra or were you just put out? Just kidding.
You so funny right now.
You should see this face.
He was like, what?
It is what it is.
You know, hey, no, so you know what? Me and James, we have a different relationship.
Yeah.
You know, we've
That's
been
my
knowing
big
each other.
sister,
Yeah,
y'all.
I'm the big
Seriously.
sister. So you know, I can joke and I can say things I normally wouldn't say to you or anybody. But if you in my camp and I love you, you know, I'll say anything I want to, and you just have to look at me half cockeyed. I'll be right back. Regina, the Queen of Carlones here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others may have roadblocks. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed and driving today. Simply Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Ride in style with the Queen, Regina the Queen of Car Loans, at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet in Waterford.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Hi, I'm Dave Wilkie, Service Manager at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Since the 1950s, Joe Longhammer and his family have been honored to service your vehicles. With 112 years of combined service experience, we can take care of any concern you might have. From warranty work to routine oil changes, we treat your vehicle like our own. Call now to schedule a next service appointment at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. Stop by anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your vehicle serviced right every time. Call 248-683-7100. That's 248-683-7100.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
We're still talking to James Gonzales, Mr. WORK365.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you training NBA players, NFL players. You know, I know you got the community, you got your team members, right?
Yes.
But let's talk about the big. You know, you didn't move up to the big league all of a sudden. Or you always been there, little brother?
You know what? I don't know. It's just been a blessing. I know that for sure, and I'm enjoying the ride. Just seeing where these guys are going with their life, what they're doing with their path, and the influence they have on a wide range of people in the world. So, yeah. But I'm training a couple guys that's play professional sports. I have about 5 guys in the NHL. 2 guys in the NFL and 2 guys in the NBA as well. And it's, you know, and from where I'm at as far as with sports training, I do feel like I am one of the best around to do this in this area. I feel like these guys are coming to me for a reason, and I see where they're going with their sports training, with their sports, and it's been a blessing to see their progression.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, you know, one more question before we segue in to our next segment. How long have you been training and working out?
For myself, or
no, for everyone, for what you do.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing your craft?
So I've been doing
business?
this since 2004.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have earned it. You have earned it.
Yeah, 19
you know?
years.
So that's a long time.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Shout out to you. Tell the listeners how they can contact you. If they want to get some strength training or workout, how can they contact you?
You can contact me several ways. One is my website, www.work365fitness.com. You can reach me on social media, Instagram at work365_sports_training, or Facebook, my name, James Benjamin Gonzales. Or you could just, send me a DM message, and one of my myself or one of my coaches will reach back out to you.
Okay, that's awesome.
So now there's a good segue to talk about how Quan and James got together. So let's talk about that. I know that you're in the film right now. You were part of the film.
Yes, I am.
How did that feel to be a part of a film, and how did you guys reconnect? Because I know you guys first hooked up with the fitness part. You know, Quan hooked up with the fitness, and then you were already doing fitness. Let's talk about that.
So So I could even take it back a little further. So again, Quan and Max Main was always good friends, and I met Max Main. Actually, when he was training athletes at Wisner, or training athletes or whoever at Wisner Stadium, outdoors. While he was doing that, I was training athletes at Wisner Stadium as well. And we saw each other a couple times there, and we just linked up and exchanged numbers. And I started going to his facility to work out. Kind of behold, my guy Quan was in there training people as well. At Max Out Fitness. So we started working out together as a group, and it was very beneficial, and it was like trainers helping trainers out, that type of deal, and it was a beautiful thing. But as far as me and getting into this film with Quan, you know what? Let me let Quan take over this real quick.
I was gonna wonder whether you was gonna pass the mic a little bit because you were hogging it. Right. Every time somebody get that mic, they just get uncontrollable, right?
So, no, it's all good. It's all good. I like to listen. So I had came up to his facility. Like I said, I still do videographer work. So I was working with the boxer Sumo. getting some content up at WORK365, and I seen him.
Hold on, wait. You said the boxer sumo. You gotta let people know who sumo is, man. From Pontiac.
Sumo from Pontiac, and he hold belts. He's really good. Check him out. Cantrell's his first name, right? Yeah, Cantrell Sumo. So I was up there working with him, and me and James was talking, and I was explaining to him what I had going on. I was in the middle of doing this film, and he told me that, he wanted to act. So instead of, like waiting till the next project, I wrote him into this one. So it's one of the perks of writing, directing, and producing your own movie. You can kind of make the adjustments on the fly.
Well, did you see how he slipped that in there, Dr. T?
He was like, I wrote him in this one. So, when you the man, when it's your project, you can put whoever you want in and take whoever you want out. That's author and finisher, really. When you're an author, you can write stuff in and take stuff out. And when you're a director or a filmmaker, you can do the same.
So I'm going to get a little bit into detail with this. So before I told him I was interested, I also explained.
Oh, when you told him? You didn't ask? That's a difference.
Quan, bro, look, Quan. Right. I'm interested, man. Talk to me. Talk to me. No, I asked. I'm sorry.
Y'all need to see what's happening in the studio.
I did ask. No, but seriously, on a serious note, so I went to Central Michigan University. I played football, fire up chips all day. But my minor was broadcasting and cinematic arts. My major was theater. So I did plays and all of the above at Central Michigan, and I was explaining that to Quan as well. And I was like, and I told him.
Wait a minute, you gave him your resume real quick. Did you just notice you gave us your resume?
I really did. But I know I did. I asked him, I said, bro, if you need any more help for this film or if you need a role to fulfill, let me know. I'm with it. And what this guy did, he wrote me in the film, but not only did he wrote me, he sent it to me later on that night.
Wow.
I was like, what? Later on that night.
Same day action.
So it was kind of simple because I already was trying to expand the movie. Like I said, it was a short, so I was looking to expand it. So when he said he was interested, when I left him early that morning, my whole goal was to get on top of it because I wanted to get it written out so he can have some reads. We used to do reads on like FaceTime. We'd do reads, so I wanted him to get familiar with the script, get familiar with the other castmates, and I didn't want it to be rushed or bombarded because I had a time date that I wanted to be done by, so I had to get on top of it.
Wow. Quan, I have a question for you. Now, you see this into fruition now. You see it actually happening. How do you feel?
I feel good.
I know you feel good, but like this is your baby getting ready to be born.
Yeah, so it was a lot of collaborative help. I think it's cool that I did a movie with all my friends.
Wow.
So everybody believed in me. And I didn't have no proof to show them, like, this is what I could do. They just say, you know what, we believe in you. And I reached out to everybody that helped me along this journey. I appreciate all the people that contributed music, extras, my production team, whether it's Pure D, Lomax. This is my production team. Man, I couldn't do it without none of them. Wow. I couldn't. So I appreciate everybody that helped me. Yeah, it's I feel good that I'm on but my mind is to the next project. So this project is about done. There's nothing else I can do. I'm on to the next project.
Wow. I appreciate that. Last week, Regina said something last Saturday. She said, sometimes people, you don't have to sell yourself. People support you just because of who you are. And so you're giving, shout out to these individuals, but they supported you without being able to see evidence. And so you have to know that was orchestrated by God. You have to know that. So people will rock with you just because of who you are.
And to add to that, Doc, not just to support, but we see your hustle and your grind and the fact that you put in the work, and it's not like you just sitting on your butt not doing nothing, saying what you want to do. You was about that action. So that made it easier for anybody and everybody that's in this movie to say, hey, we got to get down with my boy.
But you know what? It goes back to the slogan of back in the day. What was your slogan? Putting in the work 365. What was it?
Work 365. Work 365. No days off.
That's it. Do you still use that?
Still use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the point is, when you put a slogan out there, you always got to know, and you know that's what you do, period, right? And then for somebody to still remember that, that's huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's your slogan?
I don't really have a slogan. I'm gonna adopt his slogan. Work, 365, no days off. Because mentally, there's no days off.
Wow.
I'm either physically, on a production set, or I'm mentally getting ready for the production or the post production. So it's really no days off. So I'm gonna adopt his.
Here we go.
So let's revisit it again. The film is slated to be out what date?
Next month.
June
27th.
June 27th, right? And then the premiere is when?
June 27th.
June 27th. Okay, well, let me get my dates right. Anyway, yes, we want to thank you all for joining us this Saturday morning. We appreciate you guys, and we're proud of you both.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Most definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, thank you. All right, guys, we'll be right back. No, we're not right back. We're ending the show. I guess I'm getting so excited talking about we coming right back. You'll see us, you'll hear us, same time next week, 8:30 to 9:30 on Detroit Praise Station.
Happy Saturday.
You've been listening to Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Brought to you by Joe Lunghammer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Be in the Driver's Seat, a Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. From Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore, thank you for listening.